Precious switched the word out perfectly for me. It's not safety, it's security, which is it, interchangeably in the same realm or neighborhood of words, synonyms. But yes, men value respect, and I feel women value that security within a relationship. And that just goes with all aspects of the relationship when it comes to, like Sacio is saying, how your man makes you feel, how confident you are, and the trust being there, the protection being there, the fact that he's leading you and the family. I mean, all those aspects of security. And that man needs to feel respected. He needs to feel that when you are away, that you, like, I told Marcus the other day, my husband's last name, right? My husband's last name, my family's last name. Those are two things that I always take with me when I'm out in the world by myself. So that respect, yes, that has to be there in the element of the woman respecting her husband and respecting the relationship. So yeah, I agree with Stacey and Real Precious, but I have to say Black men are not taken care of in this world as well, Stacey. Black men are tossed to the side in grade school. They are ignored. They are completely ignored. When Black women are heard, Black men are not heard. They're silenced as well. So it's really both of us in this world, and we do need each other completely.
All right, hold on. Before I go to Sweeney, I just want to just be respectful. I wanted to get all the women in. Andrea, did you want to add anything? Or
Um, I kind of do, but just want to make sure there's a safe space, and we're talking about safety here.
You're safe. You're safe. You're good. You're good. Go ahead. Go ahead. I got you.
I'm just hoping, because I know we're doing, the whole like we all need each other kind of things. I'm just wondering if that still applies if like a person of the opposite sex has an opposing opinion about these type of conversations, even when it comes to like women on women or whatever. I honestly feel like we're not being honest here with this conversation. I feel like let me I just feel like we're not really being completely honest with this conversation. I feel like when people have different upbringings or have different lifestyle or something like that, we're not very respectful of each other. We don't make each other feel safe within our own culture. So I think that we need to take off this fake mask that we're putting on right now, making it seem like we all need each other and we love each other. When actuality, a lot of the times if someone doesn't agree with you or come from a different background or just all over different from you, whether they're like even they're in their sexual status, like, or their sexual identity, are we really that respectful of each other? Even when we go outside of actual genders, maybe a person is non-binary or whatever. Like, I'm just speaking just as far as Black people as a whole, are we really respectful and safe with each other? That's what I have to say.
okay.
Sweeney going next, or I got something to say. Sweeney,
Go ahead, bro.
Go ahead. Let's let go.
All right, so Sweeney, this ain't for you, but kind of you, and this is an example of not feeling safe, right? On this panel for as long as I've been on here, uh, Precious, Lady Di, a lot of other women have been on here. I will literally get into it with another guy for them, and it's always been like that because I wanted to make sure, and it's just a part of my personality, that they feel safe in this because you can go viral. You can say something dumb and somebody can say something and correct you and do all this other stuff, and next thing you know, you're a meme, right? And now you're embarrassed, and so I try to make sure women in my vicinity, whether it's on social media, a friend, my lady, my kids, family members, or whatever, that they feel safe. So that's why I would get into it with Sweeney, be like, yo, you just stop it and all this other stuff, because I can see it in a woman's eyes when she feels unsafe. You know what I'm saying? So the reason why Andrea doesn't necessarily want to say anything is because she's worried that after she gets done talking, somebody else is going to come in and say something contrary to what she's saying, and next thing you know, she feels stupid, stepped on, or unheard. And this is a part of why I always say what I say. You know, I'm always the manly person who's going to sit your ass down, be quiet. You need a husband, all these other things right here. Because the thing about it is, sadly, as a single woman, you're never going to feel safe. And the longer you stay single, the longer you're going to think that men are the enemy, because being a single woman, period, is the epitome of not being safe, because you don't supposed to be single. You need a man, you need a husband, you need somebody to cover you. And y'all spend so much time being single, where being unsafe or being in this arena of always going at it with men, it becomes normal. Because in my life, love is safety. It's not all this flowers and bunnies bullshit. It's safety.
Really?
And as long as a woman is not in an environment of just feeling unsafe, she's always going to think men are the problem. Because what makes women feel unsafe? Men. But who protects women? Men. So that's the biggest issue. So the longer y'all stay single, the more y'all going to end up hating men, because men are the ones that are hurting y'all, robbing y'all, stealing out of y'all cars, slapping y'all, cheating on y'all. But when you find the right man that doesn't do that shit, you ain't got to deal with it no more. And then you can go on with your life and feeling protected for the rest of your life.
I will say this: none of us is beyond reproach. None of us is beyond criticism. None of us is beyond somebody correcting or having anything to say to us. We have nobody else on this panel has ever been given that level of protection where they can say wild stuff and then somebody responds. Now, I will say this before I get into that. I have done a lot of cutting off today. Because I'm to be real with y'all, I'm very sensitive when it comes to people that tells lies about, or they give out misinformation, and I don't tend to like to let people get that type of stuff out. So I will say that. However, nobody is beyond being responded to, especially when they say something wrong. There's no if I say something wrong, I will hope that Trev, Precious, Casey, Stacy, Marcus will come in and be like, nah, bro, you're saying some bullshit right now. That's not true. Here's the data. JR, here's the data on that. The data disagrees with you. You're saying something wrong. We can't keep sitting there if we're going to be on the panel, because then if that's the case, then what's the point of having women on a panel if they cannot be challenged on their ideas?
But did you see how you just said it, Sweeney? Okay. It was Mr. LetGo, JR, Precious, you're saying something wrong. It's not, what the F are you talking about it? Blah, 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 blah. Like, everybody.
That's me being a character.
Her character could be hurting someone who is trying to heal. So while we're on this panel, that's all gravy and all that, but you don't know where everyone is in their healing journey. Someone can say something to me and it roll off my back because I really don't care, because I've done enough work to actually not care about what other people say. But somebody might not be at that place where they could still be healing, and you could see that they're healing because of the hurt that you can hear from them, and it's the way that you handle them. So I remember the other day someone was like, well, or I was on my live on Instagram and somebody was like, well, you have a responsibility to correct some of these women, but a lot of these women are hurting, and these panels is not the right place to correct them because they still need to be healed. Now, I do believe that women need to be corrected. Of course, we need to be corrected because we have that Eve gene. So we're going to be persuaded. The serpent is going to come in there and continue to tell us that what God told us ain't right. And we more 9 times out of 10, a woman is going to go towards that bad, wrong path, right? But they need a group of people who is going to protect, who is going to have security with them, because they're just fragile. And these panels are not for fragile people whatsoever.
So
at all.
with that being said, then the person who cannot be corrected on the public platform, even though they may be saying something wrong on a public platform, shouldn't be on a public platform. Not
are
to
they
say
doing something wrong, or is it or are they still in their healing process and where they don't know what's right yet?
I would argue that they do know exactly what they're saying.
I
would hold on real quick, because we always try to scapegoat people when they come on here and they say wild shit. When they come on here and they be disrespectful.
But do you know her? Let's start there. Do you know her personally, Sweeney?
I don't have to know someone to see them doing something publicly and it be wrong. You don't have to know a person. When you see their behavior and they're doing something wrong or they're saying something wrong, you can't do wrong in public.
You don't know the root of her behavior. You see her on the panel and you hear what she has to say, and we come on here week after week, but you don't know what the root of it is. Just like I don't know what the root of it is.
So basically what we're supposed to do is let people come out and speak their shit and just let them say it. Yeah, because we don't know them.
No, I think that some people have a different eye and can see certain things, and certain people have a different ear and can hear differently. And so when you can't hear from a healed place, then you're gonna hear from a hurt place. And so when people are hurting, right, they're not really taking in a healing unless someone is sitting down to help them nurture their wound. Unless someone is actually sitting down, and she said that she's in therapy, right? We went through this already, I think last week. But my thing is, I'm not saying to excuse bad behavior or excuse obscene things, but what I'm saying is you don't know anyone to actually try to correct them in a certain type of way. It's a way that you handle someone who is still healing. And so when I see that, I take a step back, because I don't want to add to somebody else still hurting and they not healing. I don't want to add to that.